In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can use to either install or repair WinGet on Windows 10 or Windows 11. Because on Windows 10, it doesn't come pre-installed or registered, and on Windows 11 and on Windows 10, it can become corrupted for various reasons. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to fix all of that. Now, I'm recording this video for you on Windows 10 IoT Enterprise LTSC 2021, because Windows 10 by default, even the Pro versions, don't come with a working WinGet version installed. And what I mean by that is if you were to just open Windows PowerShell and type the WinGet command, it's just going to say that WinGet is a term that's not recognized on the system because it isn't actually registered yet. But on the latest versions of Windows 11, WinGet is already installed and working. So if you type the WinGet command, it will just work. But if you're on Windows 11 and your WinGet install got corrupted, then this video is also for you. So if we look at the official documentation for WinGet, it's the Windows Package Manager, and it's part of the app installer. So that's going to be method number 1, which in my opinion is the easiest to get it installed on any Windows system. Now to get started with the first method here, there is a note by Microsoft saying that the WinGet command line tool is only supported on Windows 10 version 1809 or later. So WinGet will not be available until you've logged into Windows as a user for the first time, triggering the Microsoft Store to register the Windows Package Manager as part of an asynchronous process. So if you've recently logged in as a user for the first time and you found that WinGet is not available, you can run the following command in PowerShell. So if I go ahead and copy this entire command here, if I copy that, right click on the start button and then click on Windows PowerShell as admin, open that, and then I right click to paste that command and I press enter, it's actually going to error out on this Windows 10 LTSC version. And you can see the error right here. It says it couldn't find this desktop app installer in this repository. Now remember, I'm doing this on Windows 10 LTSC, so most of the stuff isn't installed on here and I'm deliberately doing it this way. So let me show you the first method, and that is by using the app installer to install WinGet, because WinGet is actually part of the app installer. Now, Microsoft says that you can download it here from this link, and that'll take you to the Microsoft Store webpage where you can then install the app installer. But since this version of Windows doesn't have the Microsoft Store, if I click on install, nothing happens because it doesn't have the Microsoft Store to open it. Now, there are various ways to get the Microsoft Store installed if you don't have it or if you've uninstalled it. And I've made various videos about that on the channel already, which I'll also link in my guide that you can have a look at. But for this video, you can actually download the Microsoft Store from the Microsoft Store webpage without having the Microsoft Store installed on your system. So you can see I've got the Microsoft Store here on the Microsoft Store webpage. And if I click on download, it's going to download a file, which is the Microsoft Store installer. If I click on open file to run that installer or that executable file, it's going to open a Microsoft Store window. It says it's checking the system requirements. So it'll actually start downloading the Microsoft Store on this Windows 10 LTSC version that doesn't have the Microsoft Store installed at all. And like I just mentioned previously, this isn't the only way to get the Microsoft Store installed on Windows 10 LTSC. But for this specific video, I'm going to showcase this method, which is just downloading an installer from the Microsoft Store webpage to actually get the Microsoft Store installed on the system. So now that we've got the Microsoft Store installed, we can use this app installer webpage that Microsoft links to from their documentation. If I now click on install, it will actually open the Microsoft Store and take me to the app installer webpage in the Microsoft Store. And if I click on get, it'll start downloading and installing the app installer. And like I mentioned previously, which we can also see on this Microsoft Store page here, the app installer right here, it also serves as the delivery vehicle for the Windows Package Manager, which is WinGet. So if we just give this a little bit of time to complete the install, we'll be able to use WinGet on the system. It's just finished. We can see that the app installer just got finished installing, and this app is now installed on the system. So if I open Windows PowerShell and type winget-v, we'll now get a result, which is the version, because we queried the version and WinGet is now fully up and running and working on this Windows 10 LTSC version. So that's method 1 for getting WinGet installed or repairing it, and it's by far the easiest. Now let's take a look at method 2. The second method is also found on the Microsoft Learn page for WinGet. And if you scroll down, it says how to install WinGet on Windows Sandbox. And it gives a PowerShell script snippet here that you can use to install WinGet. So you can click on copy right here, right click on your start button, then click Windows PowerShell as admin, accept any prompts that you might get. And then inside of this window here, you're just going to right click and it's going to paste all of those commands. And it's also going to automatically start running it. So it's already completed the command to install the NuGet package provider. It's now busy installing the module, which is the Microsoft.WinGet client module, and it's doing it from the PS Gallery repository. So you'll just have to wait a while for this to complete. If it seems like this is stalling at any point in time, then you can just press enter. And if it was stalling, it'll jump to the next line. But in my case, I've pressed enter a few times and it's still busy downloading and installing it because we can see from this blinking cursor here, it is still busy working. And it took about a minute or two to complete that command. And now it's using the repair-wingetpacgemanager commandlet to actually initialize WinGet. So it's busy running the next command to repair the WinGet package manager for all of the users. And once again, the cursor is blinking, meaning it's working and it's busy repairing the WinGet package manager and actually getting it registered on the system. And there we go. It took about 1 or 2 minutes and it's finally done. So now the proof that we have WinGet installed is if we type the winget-v command, it should give us the WinGet version. And we can see that our version right now is 1.28.240. So now we can go ahead and use WinGet on the system. And if we run a command like winget search brave, we'll first have to accept the Microsoft Store terms. So just press Y for yes. And once you do that, it will give you the results. So that's method 2 to install or repair WinGet on Windows 10 and Windows 11. Now, method 3 is going to be the manual method. That's why I left it to the end, because the previous 2 methods are by far the easiest. But for the manual method, I'm going to showcase that to you as well. And for that, you want to come over to the WinGet CLI repository on GitHub. And once you're over here, you're going to go to the Releases tab and click on the latest release. Now, right here on this latest release page, what we need to do is we need to scroll down all the way to the bottom so we can get to the assets. And we need to grab 2 things here. The first one is the desktop app installer dependencies.zip file. So I'm going to click on that to start downloading it. And then we also have the Microsoft desktop app installer MSIX bundle file. So I'll click on that as well to start downloading it. For some reason, Microsoft Edge thinks that the Microsoft desktop app installer could harm our device. That's not true. So we can just keep it anyway. But once both of those files have been downloaded, we can click on the Downloads folder to open it. And the first thing we need to do here is extract the dependencies. So I'm going to right click, extract all, and I'll just extract it to the default folder there. And once that's finished, we can open the folder and choose our architecture. Now, this part here is really important because you need to select the folder for the architecture that you have. I've got x64, and the way that you can check this is just by right-clicking on the Start button, then clicking on System. And in the System page here, you'll be able to see what system type you have. For me, it's a 64-bit system with a 64-bit based processor. So you just need to check that and select the folder that you have. So I'm going to continue with x64. And then we'll have these 3 files right here, which are appx files. We can't double click on these to install them. So what we need to do is right click the Start button, click on Windows PowerShell as admin, then accept any prompts you might get, and it'll open a new PowerShell window. And now we need to type a command here. That command is add-appx package and then space -path and then space again. And then what we need to do is take the first file here, just select it and then hold down Shift and right click, which will give you the option here to copy as path. So you can click on copy as path, go back to the PowerShell window and then right click, and it's going to complete that command. So now if I press enter, it's going to deploy that appx package. So now we need to do that for all 3 of these. So I'm just going to press up on the keyboard so I can get back to my previous command. But I'm going to press backspace to remove the package or the path to the first package. So I've just got add apex package dash path right now. And then I'm going to select the next package, shift right click, then copy as path. And I'll paste that as well with right click. So we can see this is a different dependency. So this is the second dependency. I'm going to press enter to install it. And that's been installed. Go through the same process, press up once on the keyboard, then go and remove the path of the previous one that I just installed. And now we'll select the last one here, shift right click, copy as path, and then paste it in the window here, and then press enter so it can deploy that apex package as well. Now that these dependencies have been installed, we can install the Microsoft Desktop App Installer. But before we can do that, from the assets here on the Windows Package Manager release page, we actually need to download this license file as well. So I'm going to click on the license1.xml so it can be downloaded as well, and I'm going to keep it so it's in the folder. And now for us to register this desktop app installer, we also need to hand it this license file. And we're going to have a slightly different command that we're going to enter in PowerShell here. So the command that we're going to enter is add-apex provisioned package. So not just the normal add apex package. We're going to follow that by space dash online and then space dash package path, and then follow that by a space. And then we're going to get the path of our desktop app installer file. So we're going to shift right click, copy as path, and then right click to paste that path, then add another space. And then we're going to type dash license path space, and then we're going to get the path of the license file. So shift right click, then copy as path, then right click to paste it. Now, if we enter this command, we press enter to run that command, it's going to add the desktop app installer for all of the users on the system. And we've also handed it the license path, and we got that license from the official Windows Package Manager repo. So if I now run the winget-v command, we can see that winget is installed because it gives us the version of the package that was just installed. So method 3, which is the manual method, is by far the most time-consuming and most complicated method that you can use, but I just thought I'd showcase it to you in this video as well, because you just might need it if none of the other 2 methods worked for you. So that's how you can install or repair the Microsoft Desktop App Installer or WinGet on Windows 10 and Windows 11. And if you didn't know how to do it before, now you know.